What is up, you guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ernie, and this is my boy Bud. We just celebrated his 4th birthday, so be sure to drop a happy birthday for him. But I can arguably say that I am building one of the cheapest, most reliable Lamborghinis there is. So if you're new to my YouTube channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button because you are not going to want to miss out, as we've already accomplished a lot on the car. But let me give you a quick little recap. I started off by removing the original 38,000 mile V10 from the car, and it was due to a major catastrophic failure. They punched 3 holes into the side of the block, so it was done for. So that forced me to start prepping my LS engine, and that consisted of an LS4 serpentine system along with all the mounts and adapters to bolt the original Graziano transmission to the LS. And once I got all that installed, I went ahead and put the motor into the car, and I ran into a little bit of a clearance issue with the all-wheel drive system. So that forced me to convert it over to a 2-wheel drive. But as many as you guys know, I am gonna be running a set of twin turbos on this car. So I did go ahead and upgrade the fuel system by installing AN lines throughout the whole car, along with 2 Wobber 450 pumps and bigger injectors. And like I've said in my previous episodes, I am going to be keeping all of the factory options on the car. So I had to adapt the original power steering system over to the LS power steering pump in order to keep power steering and the front lift on the car. I also ran into a little bit of a clearance issue with the ignition coils. So don't be fooled, we've gotten a lot of work done on the car already, but there is a lot of work left. So let's get started with today's episode. If you guys saw my last episode, you guys would know that we ran into a little bit of a clearance issue with our ignition coils, as I originally wanted to mount them to the valve covers, but they were rubbing on the headers. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that. So that's going to force me to remote mount them with these brackets that we have right here. I did talk about possibly mounting them on this frame rail down here, but I'm still not 100% sold on that idea yet. I was also thinking on this upper frame rail that they would look nice and tucked away, which I might end up doing that, but you guys are just gonna have to stick around and see where I end up mounting these because I'm not 100% sure yet. But check this out. We did get some freshly painted mirrors. They do got some fingerprint marks, but they're gonna clean up nicely. So shout out to my brother-in-law. He is a painter, so he hooked us up with this because they were originally red, if you guys can't tell. But we're gonna end up having to install those too, so let's go ahead and get started. Well, unfortunately, we weren't left with many options. I was originally going to go with the upper frame rail, and I went and mounted the brackets with the coils, but they did not clear due to this reservoir right here for the power steering and that evap canister back there. This side we had plenty of space, but I wasn't going to mount one on top and one on the bottom, so I ended up just mounting them both on the lower frame rail. This is what they look like right here. Really not that bad looking. They're just temporarily mounted just so I can make my spark plug wires. But the only part I don't like is that they're going to be kind of a pain to get to. So I guess that's just the problem we'll have to deal with later. What I'm going to be using to make my spark plug wires is this universal spark plug wire kit from ICT Billet. It comes with 5 feet of wire. And then you're going to need yourself a set of these crimpers right here. They're specially made for crimping spark plug wires, and you can get them both on the ICT Billet website. I think the wires were like $109 for the kit, and I'm not sure what those crimpers cost. I bought them a long time ago. So let's move on so I can show you guys how to use those crimpers and start making your own wires. So this kit actually comes with a couple different ends. There's a 90, there's an angled, and then there's this straight one. We're gonna use the 90 for our application, and this is what the crimping end looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and run to the car, get a measurement real quick so we can start crimping these wires. In my opinion, Lamborghini did an amazing job designing this car. It is beautiful. The body lines flow nicely. It is super aggressive looking, but they kind of messed up on one thing, and it might be that I got used to not seeing it with it, but is it just me, or do these mirrors not look kind of big? I mean, the car is really small and sleek looking, and then you got these mirrors and they look like a big-eared kid. I mean, I'm not sure what they were thinking with these mirrors, but to me, they just look too big for the car. But it might be that I just was so used to seeing the car without them. But so I did get the mirrors installed, and that was a little bit of a process figuring out how to get to the bolts. And while I was in the interior, I did go ahead and bolt up my door panels along with these handrails. I went ahead and did both sides while I was at it. Just small, tedious little things. And as you guys saw me welding back here, I got my mount all tacked in for our coolant reservoir. So this is gonna be the reservoir I'm gonna be using. So let me show you guys how that's kind of gonna look. And this is also gonna get powder coated too, so I'm not really too worried about scratching it. So this is kind of what it's gonna look like. I did make sure to give myself enough room to get this lid off, so if you guys are wondering. But it's gonna be nice and tucked away. I also did complete all the spark plug wires. They're a little bit of a mess, but they'll look good once I get them all zip tied and mounted properly. So I am gonna still be pulling the motor out, and I am gonna be sending everything off to get powder coated, so that way we can do a proper final install. But that's gonna be a little bit later down the road. With that being said, we do have a lot of work left on the car. So next I'm gonna go ahead and pull this brace off because I need to do a little bit of a modification to it, and I'm gonna show you guys why. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I struggled a bunch just to get this brace out. So this is the reason I did what I did. I went ahead and chopped the back end of the brace, and I added some of these quick release fittings that take a bolt on the top and the bottom. And then it's gonna make removing and installing this brace so much easier. So, and I just wanna let you guys in on a little something. I did order a bunch of really cool parts, and I think it's what you guys have all been waiting for. So with that being said, make sure you guys hit that bell notification, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.